10-year-old Sam sits in the living room playing with Legos and watching a movie. His mom, in the kitchen right next to the living room, is cooking dinner while his sister sits at the table working on her homework for the night. His dad walks in from work and greets everyone. They'll all catch up and dinner begins. They share what happened in their days. Life feels normal for Sam, and he is at peace. Sam hears a constant yelling coming from across the hall. He can hear his mom and his dad yelling at each other while he sits and tries to keep his mind elsewhere. He does not fully understand what is going on between his mom and dad, but he knows that he has been told he's moving soon. He becomes increasingly sad as he learns he will no longer be living with his dad anymore, and his brother too, who is going to college. After Sam and his mom and sister move out, he thinks that it is just temporary and that him not living with his dad will not be forever. However, this was not the case. His mom had to explain to him that he will only be spending the night at his dad's for the weekend every 2 weeks. This confuses him and it makes him angry because even though him and his dad were not super close, it was still his dad who had been there his whole life. Eventually, Sam gets into the routine of seeing his dad, and they usually have a plan they go by whenever he stays at his dad's. They rent movies, order food, and catch up on all that has happened while they haven't been seen each other. Sam gets super excited too when his dad will take him out to dinner during the week because sometimes it is almost 10 to 14 days between the times they see each other. This routine continues for years, all through middle school and even into high school. This becomes a very normal thing for Sam at this point, and he doesn't even think anything of it after a while. During this time, though, Sam has become extremely close with his mom and sister because he sees them every day and spends a lot of time with them. Sam and his sister were never really close before. They had learned to do a lot for each other and with each other because it was sometimes the only option. Sam really realizes that all his friends do certain activities and learn lessons from their dads as they get older, especially during times like middle school and high school. Sam realizes this and learns that he needs to spend more time with his dad because it's good for his development mentally and to learn from his dad. Sam's dad begins to see him during the week by picking up from practice and taking him to dinner some nights during the week. He would also go to Sam's games, and they could also talk about what happened because sports were a large part of their bonding experience. This fulfilled Sam's need for time with his dad and his need for learning from a grown man. It helps him learn what it means to be when he grew up and what kind of person to be overall. Over the years, Sam understood why his parents decided to split and how it was the best decision in the long run for him and his siblings. He also learned that the time he gets to spend with his dad and his mom are equally valuable and important because those times he will never get back.